confrontation with law enforcement in Northwest D.C. You might have seen this already on your feed. Officials say a man aggressively approached a federal officer, yelling, cursing, and berating him before throwing a sandwich and hitting that officer in the chest. And you can see he...
I gotta say this first of all, y'all. Thanks for watching number one. It's your boy, Brother Winston, back at it again. I gotta say this. When I saw him throw that sandwich at... Number one, that of course that's gonna be a crime. When he's throwing something at a cop, all right? But he's throwing something at a cop. And then he just turns around and runs away. Like, he has no fear. I mean, when people say that there's not a difference between being white and being black in this nation, watch this video. Send them this video. No black man on earth, no black man in the United States of America would ever think do something like that. But this guy knew he could do that. He knew that he could sit there, all right, berate the officer, say whatever he wanted to say, throw something at him, and they would not reach for their guns. But I guarantee you, if that happened anywhere else, if that happened, it was a black man, I should say. What would have happened is he would have threw the sandwich, and then they would have shot him into pieces, and they would have said they thought that he was reaching for a weapon. I guarantee you that. And the man, knowing that, I have to say this because you may say you turn to a race thing. It absolutely is a race thing, okay? Because it's showing the racial divide like almost nothing else. And 2025 is one of the most clearest videos that you can see of a racial divide right here, where a man is literally assaulting an officer, and he just starts to run right in front of them, okay?
They ran away from there. The man was arrested at the scene and will be charged with assault on a police officer. Pirro is using this video as a warning to the public about attacking law enforcement.
An individual went up to one of the federal law enforcement officers and started jumping up and down, screaming at him, berating him, yelling at him. And then he took a Subway sandwich about this big and took it and threw it at the officer. He thought it was funny. Well, he doesn't think it's funny today because we charged him with a felony, assault on a...
Hey, I can't even blame him. I can't blame him for charging him with a crime. This is the Trump administration. What do you expect? Okay. But what do you expect to just get off for free? You know what I mean? At the end of the day. You know what I mean? I can't even blame them. But my thing is, number one, also, why is Jeanine Pirro now the U.S. attorney I see here? I didn't even know that. I did hear about it, but she's now the U.S. attorney? Okay, that's crazy. And I say that because in the past, Jeanine Pirro, who is a TV personality, has been a TV personality for many years, she has oftentimes been caught being drunk. All right, many times she's been caught being a little tipsy. It's like Trump looks at these people on TV and says, well, you know what? They'll be good. I'll pick this person. They look good. Like he always says, this guy looks like he's straight out of Central Casting. Like, this is not a TV show for the new Trump reality show. This is the real world. But Trump doesn't care. He's like, hey, let's pick anybody. Jeanine Pirro looks good. You know, I'm sure she looks good to him in his sight, you know, because he's up in age. Let's pick her. You know, she's going to do whatever I say. Like I said before in some other videos, in Trump's second administration, all bets is off because he knows what he can and cannot do. Everyone that's with him is going to be a yes man. Remember this in his first administration, in his first term, I should say, he had like 3 rounds of staff. He fired one staff, brought another staff, fired them, brought another staff. He's kept on firing people all day long. All right, a lot of people who he fired are now coming on these network shows, from what CNN and whatnot, all these different shows have things to say about Trump. Okay, and they getting paid, you know, tens of thousands of dollars to do that. I mean, it's just crazy. But I'm gonna watch it one more time. Okay, look at this.
Yelling, cursing, and berating him. West D.C., you might have seen this already on your feed. Officials say a man aggressively approached a federal officer, yelling, cursing, and berating.
He took a Subway sandwich. And that's a waste of a sandwich, too. I know some people don't want to eat in Subway, but still, he took a whole sandwich and just threw it. Then he just turns around like calmly.
Before throwing a sandwich and hitting that officer in the chest, and you can see he booked it, ran away from there. The man was...
I gotta say that, I say that because as a black man, I've seen so many instances where black men, okay, have had their lives taken for nothing. Where I mean, you know how many stories there are? Go on and look them up. Where a black man is in his car and the cop says, "Look forward." I was a story. I can't remember the guy's name. Where this guy was in his car, and the cop asked him, "Do you have a firearm?" And he said, "Yes, I have a firearm in the glove compartment, but it's registered and everything. I'm allowed to have it." And then the cop said something, and then said, "I felt threatened," or whatever, and they shot the guy to death in his car with, like, I think he was with his wife or his girlfriend in the car, right in front of her. And that stuff has happened many, many times. Things like that and more, okay? I mean, it's just unbelievable. But this guy can sit there and throw something at a cop and just run away and then wait to get charged. Wait later to get charged. I mean, this country it truly is a joke. It truly is a joke, y'all. It truly is a joke. And I say it also because the cops didn't pull out. They didn't even tase the guy. From what we see, they didn't even tase the guy. I mean, that's astonishing. They ain't even tase. They let the guy run because you don't want to put a finger on the guy because he's like the most precious thing. He's a white man who's so precious that you can't touch him. Now, in reality, they shouldn't have fired on the guy at all. But what I'm saying is that when it's a black person, that's what they do. Okay, even a Mexican, they would have done the same thing when it comes to a black person. They would have fired on him, okay? They would have, especially Mexican, okay? They would have definitely fired on him. They would have tased him. They may have stomped him on the ground. They may have beaten him up, all right? But this guy knowing, like people say, you know, some people, they don't know, you know, racism will just disappear if you're just thinking about it. If you just stop thinking about it. People say over and over, stop thinking about racism and it won't exist, okay? But at the same time, people like this, okay, white folks, not all white folks, not all white people doing this, okay, and I have many white friends, but I'm not against white people. I'm just saying, what I'm saying is that there are many white people that are like this. I know white people that are racist that I've encountered at jobs, people that were clearly racist and they're white people, okay, and they can do this type of stuff. They can make false calls and have black people, you know, arrested for all kind of stuff. They've done this stuff, and it's because it's not just the white people's fault. You know whose fault it is? It's the United States of America's fault, because the United States of America is set up like this. All right, I'm gonna end with this. It was a story that came out recently where there's a black man. I can't remember his name. Young black man. He went and I believe he stabbed somebody. It was like a team event of some kind. I can't remember exactly what happened, but I know that he went to another team's like 10, I believe, and he was talking to this guy. I can't remember the kid's name, and he said something to the effect of like, you know, you say one more thing, you know, you just gonna be last thing you say something. Like he basically threatened the guy, or I think the guys was threatening him back and forth, okay, and then he basically just stabbed the guy, took the guy's life. People were like, you can't take the guy's life because he didn't pull a weapon out on you, and they're right in that they, you know, if they didn't pull a weapon on you, you really can't just do that, okay. But at the same time, I was actually talking to someone about that, okay, more than once. And I said, the thing is, in this nation, and they were like, look how bad this is, look how crazy this is, you know what I mean? This guy, you know, took this guy's life and this and that. There's all these different shows online saying, oh, this guy needs to arrest, this guy needs to get death penalty, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, but the crazy thing is that white people have done this to us, have done the exact same thing to us all the time, and they walked away free. Look at the Trayvon Martin situation. Trayvon Martin was just a young black man walking to get into like a 7-Eleven, some store like that. Went and got some Skittles. He was approached by a man that was not black. I think he was Mexican or something. I forget what race he was. George Zimmerman, whatever race George Zimmerman is. He was approached by him. On the phone, George Zimmerman was calling the cops, and George Zimmerman was not a cop at all. Okay, and he said he looks dangerous and this and that. And the kid was like 12 years old. Trayvon Martin, whatever age he was young. He was not 18 years old. And he said, oh, he looks threatening. And the woman on the line, remember, she said, don't approach him. Don't approach him. And then George Zimmerman approached him and took his life, killed him. Then did George Zimmerman get charged for that crime? No. He's a free man. Okay? George Zimmerman can go to Six Flags, he can go to Donny Park, do whatever he wants to do. All right? To this very day, he's not been charged for that crime. So that's why there is a racial divide. That's why there is huge inequality in the United States of America. It's always been like that. When I see stories like this, I can't help but think that. I can't help but say, wow, look at that. That's another sign. But people would just look at this. People who ignore racism, I should say, and act like it don't exist, they would say, hey, why are you complaining? Why are you complaining? This is why we have to talk about this stuff. This is why I have to make videos about this stuff. This is why I've been talking about this stuff for years. This is why I had started a community group, okay, to defend people who've been, in many ways, been brought down and been hurt by the inequalities in the United States, okay, by the mess that's been going on. All right, I remember when I first started my community group, the first one that I started, it was because of the situation with Trayvon Martin, and I said we gotta do something. All right, some Christians will say, "Oh, we just gotta pray." I had my Christian friends say, "Just sit back and pray. Just sit back and pray. Just sit back and pray." Okay, but but the Bible says, "Blessed are the peacemakers." All right, also. But a lot of us just want to sit back and pray while this stuff is going on. No, we need to expose this mess. We need to stand up where we can, all right, to defend those, all right, who can't be defended. Defend like someone like Trayvon Martin. he can't be defended because he lost his life. While George Zimmerman, the United States of America, allows him to walk around and do whatever he wants to do. Okay. While President Trump has been releasing criminals, okay, into our society, people who he's been pardoning, people who are criminals, like the people that were at his riot, his insurrection that he had, and he was pardoning all them criminals and putting them back into society. And the funny thing is that a lot of them actually turn against Trump, which is even more funny. So you release criminals out so they can come and attack you. All right, this is the United States of America, ladies and gentlemen. All right, please share this video, hit the like button. Thank you for watching. It's your boy, Brother Winston, back at it again.